Greetings, gentle viewers!
And howdy, howdy!
It looks like this is the final episode of the main story, unless it's really long or we really take too long in dealing with it.
Both are possible.
And have happened in the past. I'll spare you the joke that I usually make at this point of, you know if this is the end or not, but we don't. Oh, I made it anyway!
Speaking of claiming to spare the joke and then making it anyway, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
It's so pathetic.
And I'm Wee Square.
Oi.
And let me tell you something. If the final boss really does turn out to be some frickin' mafia, businessman, evil AI that they introduced in the last 5 minutes, I shall be most cross. That is, undoubtedly, irrefutably, most certainly, not Puggers. It is in fact...
Not Puggers, indeed!
It is in fact a pull of the assiest kind from the biggest, hairiest, stankiest ass that ever existed.
Speaking?
No!
Okay, in all seriousness, no, I get that Nenji's father has come up before, but still, really? Really?
Yeah, no,
that's what they're gonna do?
You don't do that. That's not cool because, we're not gonna care. We haven't had any time with him or really learned anything about him. We will have no emotional investment or sense of triumph once we defeat him.
I understand that it's just supposed to be like an identity for the Daimos to give us a last battle. That's all it is. I get that, but I mean, why couldn't it be Ida? Well,
Yeah.
maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be all of them. But it's just like Billy said. Why do we need to just have ass-pull businessmen?
Once again, not Poggers.
This game is told non-chronologically. It has a, though not completely unique, a rather unique story. With a lot of rather unique plot points. And in the end, it's just like, get a super conventional mustache-twirling evil bad guy. What about the characters that have been present in the game? Why is that a problem?
Yeah.
Why would you take the simplest way out? Like, who cares?
I would rather there not be anyone for the final battle than that.
Unless they somehow manage to make it amazing, but...
I'm not holding my breath. I wouldn't be able to commentate if I did.
Yeah, I want to blather on about it, but really, you said everything very well, so... I won't bother.
If Operation Aegis succeeds, a world reset will no longer be possible. This operation goes against Professor Morimura's agenda. She will stop at nothing to prevent it.
Hence her aid for the Sentinels, I guess. But is that really what it was about?
This refers to the humans who can control the UFO's mainframe.
I.e. the people. These are the only ones that are people.
Right.
Those compatible have nanomachines implanted in their bodies. In order to trigger a loop, you need them to destroy all the sector's mainframes. And therein lies your goal. You want this world destroyed so the timeline can be reset. But you have one major obstacle.
Hence Goto saying you're trying to eliminate us all.
And that's Operation Aegis.
Because if everything did loop again, it would sort of mean this batch of clones would die?
Yeah, because there'd be a new batch grown, I guess.
We assume that's how it works, though, because they are different people.
Mm-hmm.
Though I guess it could be a memory wipe and they're eternal 15-year-olds, but I just don't think that that's actually the case.
Correct. I agree with that.
Aegis isn't just an ordinary defense system. It causes a terminal to seal itself off in self-defense, preventing anyone from using it to control the world. Once all the terminals are sealed off, we'll be severed from the mainframe, effectively preventing any further loop or extinction. But if that happens, your plan is null and void.
Okay, so it's not that it actually shuts off the world, it's that then they live in the digital world forever and ever, or until the bodies in the birthing pods die? Well, why couldn't they just make some new ones?
Because the control would be locked away?
Maybe that makes sense.
I mean, if they're actually in pods and these are just representations of themselves, it's not like they could actually breathe. They would need to actually be out of the pods and mingling physically.
I'm assuming that they're like DNA computering and have access to the biological matter, and I don't know, man. You might be right about that. Maybe instead of just like rebirthing the clones again every 15 years after they die, then maybe it is just the same body the whole time. But okay. Well, I guess though, if that happens, then they can never wake up.
Yeah.
And so what the hell are they here for?
Yeah.
The humanity can't come back.
So they're just gonna die.
They're just gonna be sitting here in the pods forever.
We'd be stuck in a loop where your goal was impossible.
Right.
Fine then. Let's say all your wild speculation is correct.
Why would you lie about it at this point, 97+% into Remembrance Mode? What do you have to argue about? What is the effing problem?
She's just very stubborn.
What do you plan to do about it?
Let's backtrack a little bit. We discussed the suspect of Miss Morimura's murder, and you asked me who I think did it.
Oh yeah, this has been one long scene of Goto and his search for the truth being putting together all the evidence implicating Morimura. Kid Chihiro. It's too late to come up with a name for her.
If you actually are Professor Chihiro Morimura, then I believe you personally murdered Miss Morimura.
Did I now?
She was a staunch advocate of Operation Aegis. A thorn in your side. Someone in the way of your reset.
And just like you, someone who hates robots.
An interesting theory, if also an incorrect one.
Believe me, I understand why you'd view me with hostility. Certainly Renya Goto was responsible for chasing you out of Newman.
Well, Renya Goto didn't destroy the world, though. He kind of has the moral high ground on you there, huh?
Even if it was on Shikishima's behalf. A buyer, simply eliminating liabilities.
Oh yeah, 2188 Goto sucked. You don't gotta convince me of that, but he didn't destroy the world!
After that, you took the lead on Project Arc. Under Kengo Ogata's oversight.
He didn't try to destroy Project Arc when it was going. He didn't set off bombs, knocking out the power center for the only frickin' human beings left alive, did he? Huh?
Well, she didn't do that either. That was Aang.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wasn't accusing her of that. I was accusing her of destroying the human population, though. I'm just saying, don't be like, man, 2188 Renya Goto was the worst person who ever lived, because demonstrably he wasn't.
Kengo Ogata, of course, being Nenji Ogata's father, and Shikishima's chairman, who recognized your talent. He passed away in 2187. His age caught up with him. But the other Kengo Ogata is perhaps more relevant. The one you created after his death using his memories. An AI construct. You were letting it control you.
Huh?
I was just getting advice.
Oh, that's what he meant. Not like directly controlling. He was allowing herself to be influenced by him is what he meant.
Just like Okino, allowing himself to be influenced by a personality of himself.
I think that's a little different, don't you?
I don't know. He just went on and on about it and then tried to convince A to do it, and I don't understand what's different. If that wasn't present at all, I would not have actually found it weird. Just, I backed up my memories. Why do we need to add this extra layer?
Yeah.
That's why I assume it means something. That's one of the reasons we assumed they were going somewhere with Okino, but I guess they weren't?
Right?
Why didn't they do it like that?
Yeah, they still could. They still could.
Right? You understand what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, they made a big deal about it and then didn't seem to do anything with it.
There is no reason that they had to make such a big deal out of the different way that Okino managed to quote-unquote survive DD-426 as compared to A. Sekigahara or Ryoko Shinonome.
Yeah.
If nothing was going to come of it. They could have just left it the way it was because he already backed up his memories using that system. He could have done it without it, and he backed up his memories for A without that system. The system wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
The nanomachine artificial personality that's not your original consciousness, why'd they have to even bother going into that?
Yeah, that was an unnecessary step if that's all it needed.
It's just like the weird stuff about how they spend so much time in this game, in the story leading up to it, in like a lot of the different events, any of them talking about the Sentinels, they're always having to justify so hard, like why they have to have Sentinels and why there has to be a quote-unquote pilot in the Sentinels, and it's like, my god, nobody twisted your arm and forced you to make an effing robot game. If you didn't want to do it, just don't put them in there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody did twist their arm and make them put it in.
David, it's okay.
There's just weird junk left in the plot at this point, and I don't understand why.
Dug that out of a log, too?
Yes. Renya Goto found that AI.
And why are there all these effing logs? Why did they keep them? Hasn't it been millions of years? Why do you need to keep your old emails?
You know, that's a good question.
Who got anything out of them? Now, to be fair, the story wouldn't be possible without them.
But that is a little strange, isn't it?
Why don't they have information on the rest of the world? Maybe like, and this is all we have of 2188 Earth's culture and like all the knowledge in the internet and everything.
Wouldn't that kind of be represented in the different sectors in their construction?
Well, there isn't a 2188 one, is there?
That's a good point.
Now look, maybe there is something like the depository or repository of all human knowledge that our heroes are going to have access to.
It's just not relevant to what's going on?
Yeah, but it's like, if we don't have one of those, but we did keep all the angry, crappy video emails that the various original 2188 people made complaining about each other, I don't understand why they would do one and not the other. Because that is all they are.
That is what most of them are, yes.
The log was recorded in the colony after your death.
Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I can't get so worked up that I don't, Okay.
Yeah.
Once your clone reaches 18 years of age, you set it so that she'd download your memories. It's clear this project was not a selfish endeavor. I'm sure you felt a sense of duty to save humanity.
Right, agreed.
But you were also trying to bring Kengo Ogata back to life.
What?
AIs, nanomachines, being controlled by... No, I was just taking his advice. We got distracted from this point because I started ranting about the Okino system. But keep in mind, okay, that the Kengo Ogata AI is something like in a nanomachine attached to her brain. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Now the thing is she doesn't have a brain. She's not compatible.
Yeah,
she's not a person.
She doesn't have nanomachines yet.
She can't have nanomachines.
Right.
There's only 15 people and she ain't one of them.
Right.
Okay? But what I'm saying is her memory AI has like the equivalent of the Kengo Ogata nanomachine.
Okay.
Also AI attached to it, and that's probably how it's worked out.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'll shut up before I start ranting and raving some more.
So Professor Morimura takes over Chihiro Morimura's clone. And presumably, Kengo Ogata would take over Nenji Ogata's clone.
Well, remember that Sector Zero Morimura did want to, remake new bodies to put those other people in.
Right.
Was doing it for Ida and for Izumi and, sort of for herself, so...
And let's not forget...
Here's another one of those, is all I'm getting at.
And let's not forget when League of Darkness Chihiro shot a young Nenji with the nanogun.
Why him, huh? Maybe there was a reason that he was the one who was shot with the key.
That's why you're so intent on sticking to the plan. Certainly, from your perspective, Miss Morimura was expendable. She had to die. Her very survival endangered your ultimate goal.
Well, that is a shame. This isn't ideal, but you know too much.
I'm sorry, I don't have to explain why I don't like her, okay? And why I would prefer to fight, maybe we get to fight her and Ogata. That would be superior to just fighting, like Gladiator EX Ogata. I understand this is actually in the past.
Yeah.
And this has already been resolved, but you understand.
No, I understand, and I agree.
Goodbye.
To the final battle. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd just really be wondering why it was we were using Goto as much as we had, if, she shot him. Frankly, if this Kengo Ogata saved humanity by pushing for Project Arc, whatever other bad motives he had, at least the guy was responsible for saving humanity. The only problem is he's also responsible for destroying humanity,
Right.
so that doesn't count.
They kind of cancel each other out, you know.
I think it comes out the destroy humanity part is a bit worse,
I agree.
especially under the precise circumstances. Okay, and really that was all it took, is 2188 Chihiro just turns off the factory, okay?
So they will eventually run out of kaiju then.
Yeah, but according to what Okino had said, there were too many that were left. I don't know how they confirmed that.
Yeah.
Because earlier, the same Okino had said that they had destroyed more kaiju than had been produced. No, look, I get it. RPFs were made. But,
Oh, good point, good point.
I mean, they must have made a lot of RPFs. And in any case, it's not a factory, though the world does operate by physical rules. The digital world operates by real rules. They can't just beam in all the Daimos. They have to be assembled.
Right.
You know, that's why if somebody dies, if one of the compatible dies, they still get isolated in universal control because you're not supposed to be able to come back to life.
Right.
I mean, I guess.
Maybe.
Now, you know what would be excellent? If it turns out that Kengo Ogata ends up getting a whole lot of time, or at least has, like, a really memorable appearance in/before/after the final battle, and it ends up being, like, really impressive, then we're not going to complain about that. But if it's not that, you know, where you do the surprise villain at the end who, like, steals the show, that happens sometimes. But if it isn't that, you gotta be pretty mad about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a waste. But right, this is indeed, like, this is even before A. So this has already been resolved, the Chihiro murdering Goto, so they're still working together and resolve this amicably.
Right.
But if I don't... How many more times in my life am I going to have the opportunity to yell that I don't like Professor Morimura?
Well, you still could technically yell that even after we're done with the game. I'm just saying, no one's going to stop you from just passing by someone on the street and being like, you know what? I don't like Chihiro Morimura. And they'll be like, okay, sir, whatever you say, please just stop yelling at me.
But I don't like Morimura!
Let go of my shirt, sir.
Ah!
And then when you get sent to the funny farm,
Bah!
I'll make sure to visit you.
Alright. I guess I'll just let my boundless hate of Professor Morimura out. From now till the end of time. I mean, I don't hate her that much, but... I wouldn't even say I hate her, I don't like her. One scene, and this is gonna be the Goto ending, right here.
So...
And everything after that, I assume, is the ending.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I was wondering.
Okay, let's finish this up.
Protagonist with story progress at 100% or over. Can you have done it otherwise? Oh, yeah, I could have done this one. Could have done the last Goto event without finishing Hijiyama.
Correct.
Oh?
Initiating metaskill analysis. This shouldn't take too long.
Whoa.
I'll send you the data once it's ready.
That would be great.
But I must say, this is a surprise. Okino-kun really managed to push this through? Integrating this half-coded thing into the control system?
So, what Megami ran around shooting everybody with was the half-coded thing.
Yeah.
Okino pushed all of that. Like, he created it in a way that actually works in the form that we see.
426 was the one who created the meta system.
Yes, but what she's saying is that it was Okino that integrated it. 426 made it in the first place, and that's what
okay.
Megami was shooting everybody with. And
Okay,
then,
I see what you're saying.
Then
All right.
Okino refines it to make it work.
All right, that makes sense.
Thank you. No, well, Okino wanted to tell you that. Thank you.
Okino-kun said that?
He said the analysis wasn't complete yet. So he appreciates your help with all this.
Still not talking to Mom.
I see.
To look at you, anyone might think you are just a child. But you must be a truly exceptional individual.
Don't know what Okino knows about this. In any case, he's not her son.
Right.
He's his own person. However, to Professor Morimura, Okino's her son.
The message was Okino's, but I'd like you to know I'm grateful as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to the battle.
That boy. So he appreciates me, does he? Well, that is a shame. This isn't ideal, but you know too much. Goodbye.
You cannot shoot me with that gun. So anyone who knows the truth of Aegis is a liability to you.
She could shoot Sector Zero Morimura with the gun, but not Goto.
Maybe because he's compatible?
I suppose we have not seen people who are compatible be shot with guns. That does make sense. That is right, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
I was wondering if the bio-authentication system said something else, but, I mean, she was able to shoot Morimura,
Yeah.
so you might be right.
Universal control, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm reaching for an excuse
I
there.
don't think so.
And liabilities must be dealt with. Does that sum it up? If you recall, I specifically acquired this gun for you had concerns about self-defense.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I specifically acquired this gun for your purposes.
I've got itchy X finger, huh?
I'm not scratching your finger, Damon.
I didn't want you to!
If this refer...
And why didn't reload those?
3
I don't understand.
I can guess what happens next. Now you're going to use it to shoot me.
Boy, wiping out humanity makes you kind of an awful person, doesn't it?
I think you have to be an awful person to wipe out humanity to begin with, Damon.
I'm being facetious. It's just, she's nasty.
Yeah.
Perhaps I wasn't clear. For safety reasons, neither one of us can be shot with this gun.
Ah, just not Goto or her.
I configured it very specifically.
You know, just in case. Normally, it wouldn't be a problem.
As I suspected, this gun records the time of its last discharge, and that time looks to be a near match for Miss Morimura's estimated time of death.
Huh.
Which suggests you used this gun to murder her.
And that was the person that Goto loved. For some reason. Presumably he's not just a man with interest in the fine arts.
Now, on the day of the crime, you yourself were using the drone to keep tabs on Miss Morimura, weren't you? Based off of your expenses for that day, I'd presume you took a taxi to the crime scene.
How much do you have in that pocketbook? Were you just playing dumb this whole time?
I like how he just records everything.
When did you realize? What gave away that I was the professor and not her?
Apparently it was Keitaro Miura.
There was a specific moment. It was back when Miura found you here. You described Miura as an excellent design engineer.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah.
But the Miura of 2188 was the design engineer, not him.
Did you dig that out of Renya Goto's log too?
No. That I learned through Miura, the AI of Sentinel number 17. He also told me about the existence of the logs.
So, what happens to me now?
Come to think of it, how did Miura get all those logs?
I don't know if he said.
He might have. I'm sure there's details that we don't remember.
It's just impossible to keep everything straight.
At least in one go.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be easier if you kind of mainline it and play the game, but when you only play it once a week...
Yeah.
I mean, that does get in the way, you understand?
If you're not killing me, I assume you're at least locking me up?
Considering what you did to Miss Morimura, I'm admittedly conflicted. But giving into my emotional reaction wouldn't solve anything. Vengeance isn't going to bring her back. So, with that in mind, I would rather choose the path that gets me closer to the truth. That is what I want now.
So, in other words, you have been completely defeated. Up yours.
To see what lies at the end of all this. To see what she never could.
Well, to be fair, she was really pushing the Aegis program, project, which is just as much of an apocalypse for humanity as killing them in the first place.
Yeah.
You told an obvious lie. You made it clear Jiro Izumi was not your cup of tea.
Right, whereas Morimura would never have said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you and Izumi shared an intimate relationship in the year 2188.
Oh?
That was clear enough from all the evidence I found. Even the placement seemed intentional. You and Izumi, together in Sector 1. You died before you could set up the memory transplant. At that point, I can only assume,
So did he, I guess.
Yeah.
Izumi sympathized with you and helped carry out your vision.
Because wasn't he the one who put in the...
He's the one who authorized the transplant of 2188 Chihiro's memory.
I can certainly understand Kengo Ogata's motive. He just wants to live again.
It is straightforward.
But you, why are you so intent on transplanting your memory?
Because there has to be a leader. Without someone to guide them, teams dissolve into fear, spite, resentment. It'd be the colony all over again.
I see. As I suspected, your devotion to this goal is inspiring in some ways. Are you a gambling woman?
You know, after annihilating the Daimos and learning the horrible truth of the world and discovering that there's only 15 people left, I somehow think that they might be able to not fight amongst themselves.
I would also come to that conclusion.
At least that the chance would be less, because they would have overcome a great deal, and in order to make it happen so that they were ultimately able to overcome that,
They would have to work together.
they would all have to have chosen many things and moved forward on their own many times. And then ultimately end up working together with some people that they might even still have a little bit of resentment towards, and then overcome all the impossible odds. And this has just occurred and must occur, well, in the current situation.
Right.
In the original plan? Okay, in the original plan, that wouldn't have necessarily happened at all.
Right.
Or rather, that would not have happened, period.
Are we going back to that joke?
No! Comma, however...
Darn it! Exclamation point!
However, all caps, the colony that Chihiro is talking about, these had all been people of great wealth and power. Or, okay, you know what, let me try that again. Let me be more universal, actually hitting everybody. This had been a group of people who had literally just watched the population of Earth be destroyed. Compare a group of people who just watched the population of Earth be destroyed and be unable to stop it to a group of people who have just stopped the world from being destroyed.
Yeah,
Who is going to automatically act in a better way?
Exactly.
I'd like to propose a bet. We'll leave the terminals alone for you. We won't let Aegis seal everything off. Your loop would still be viable.
And in exchange?
As it currently stands, it'd be impossible to revert to your original plan without some compromise. But consider this. Even this final phase won't truly be the end. We'll have plenty of struggles beyond it. Plenty more pain ahead of us. If we can prove to you that we will overcome that, if we prove to you that we can face the unknown, then are we not worthy to take up your cause?
Wasn't that kind of what I was saying? Just not scripted?
Inheriting your goal and seeing it through.
You make an interesting point.
We can solve this problem ourselves. So my proposal is this. Let us fight our war. No sabotage. If we fail, then I could hardly object to a reset anyway.
But they don't know that a reset isn't viable yet.
I suppose they do not. We do, but they do not have access to that information. Meaning that what Professor Morimura was pushing towards would have killed them all anyway.
Yeah.
That's your bet? You don't stand a chance.
Well, I suppose we'll see about that.
Plus, they're sealing off the terminals anyway.
Well, as long as they don't seal them all off, it's fine.
That's true.
Okay,
Aegis activated.
that was it.
Is anyone too compromised to keep fighting?
We've barely had a moment to breathe. The girls may be pushing their limits.
I'm still okay. I can keep fighting.
There are 3 terminals remaining. We can protect 2 of them with Aegis, but we're on our own with the last terminal.
How much longer do we need to hold out?
We need to re-establish a connection with Miyuki Inaba. That's still 10 hours off.
Gosh.
10 hours we don't have.
But her plan is our last hope. Then we fight to the last, until we have nothing left.
The kaiju are heading for the next terminal.
Brace yourself, Keitaro. We are soldiers, and this is the moment we trained for. Hours, days, it doesn't matter. We'll hold the line. Let's go.
Chihiro-san. You're listening, aren't you? If you're out there, please respond.
This reminds me how Goto and Miura each have a skill of, if contacted by Chihiro Morimura, their stats go up. Well, I guess conveniently this means for the final stages, they'll get the stat boost. They better, otherwise what's the point of that skill?
Right?
She only talked to him once.
Yeah.
Chihiro-san,
What is it now?
you know a way to link up with the command ship. One that doesn't rely on its position, don't you?
You're thinking of when I revised the decode.
Right now, we need that shortcut.
And this is where you reveal some new leverage over me.
No, he's just asking you, what the hell is your problem?
I can't wait to hear what log you found this time.
No. This time, I'm asking a favor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to be joking. You do realize the position I'm already in?
What the hell are you talking about? What the hell is different about you and everybody else at this point?
Yeah,
What?
I don't understand the hostility.
And you, why on earth should somebody this hostile be set to be the new leader of humanity? She's just one of the bitter people on the colony that, like, fell into chaos after they all died.
Yeah,
Especially because it's sort of her fault.
that's true, but we don't want to focus on that right now.
Right. What makes her any better? They're out there doing something. She's the one bitching at this point.
I do. Even still, all I can do is beg. I just want us to have a chance.
This is the most idiotic... I lied to you, you know. Do you know which lie I'm talking about?
Oh, how do I pick from such a giant list?
Not this time.
When I said I wasn't going to like you. You're an infuriating man, Renya Goto.
Chihiro-san.
Ready? Everyone, listen to me. We can communicate with the command ship out of range. I'm realigning the 3 surveillance satellites to their relay positions. We should be connected soon. However, the satellites have to move outside their preset tracks. They'll enter the gravity well and plummet to Earth. Your connection will only last until they hit the surface.
No, they didn't actually go anywhere. They've been orbiting Earth the entire time. Or on Earth or something.
Presumably, since we have capital E Earth.
Yeah.
You'll barely have any time to do this. Am I clear?
Thank you.
I suppose that means that in the log we saw with Kengo Ogata, that 2188 Goto was able to stop the ship from leaving. Otherwise, it would have left.
Right, exactly.
It had already left. What was the deal with all the self-replicating probes then? Are they just out somewhere, self-replicating away?
You know, that's a good point.
Okay, great. I mean, what's the point if we never left? Or is it that we seeded the entire galaxy?
With copies of the same 15 people.
I guess so. Oh, maybe that means that when we're done and everyone finally wakes up, there will be this greeting and it'll be like the same 15 people over and over and over again from all these other different civilizations. of the same people. After all, I mean, they're not the same people.
Right.
But it's been millions of years, right? Isn't that what we've been told?
I believe so, yes.
If that's not true, so be it. But we were told it's been millions of years. So maybe somewhere in those millions of years, one of these hit pay dirt. That'd be weird.
That would be incredibly strange.
It'd be the end of Gunbuster.
Yes, it would! It would be the end of Gunbuster!
Anyway.
Honestly, humans can be so irrational.
No, you can be irrational. I'm sorry. You're the one who acted like a twat about this.
Though I guess I might be the most irrational one here.
Hey, there you go.
Pet that bunny. Pet the bunny. It's pretty cute when you pet the bunny.
If you actually manage to pull this off, then I expect you all to take responsibility.
Chihiro.
Good luck, big brother. Almost connected. This is your only chance. Initiating communication.
And so we'll have her in the last couple stages, I bet.
End O story mode. Of course, there's still going to be the ending.
Right.
Yeah, that's what brought them all online, was the surgery Okino did to spread that around.
Uh-huh.
Wow. He didn't suffer from DD-426, huh? Tough kid.
Well, yeah, he is.
And Okino defeats DD-426, huh? We're surely not going to do the final battle, but let's do this one. I hope I remember how. We're doomed.
Well, we can only have 4 strike team members, so that's a problem.
Oh, we're doomed. 4 strike team members, horde of high quads. Okay, here's hoping. Super large missile. I'll probably only get the one shot, though.
Well, depends on how many incidentals are spawned with them.
And taking out, well, Demolisher Blade. What do you want?
Yeah.
And Fuyusaka is not level 30, only one who is in that boat, but also has, some of the supporty stuff, so might be necessary. Here's hoping.
Let's go! Woohoo!
No, Donkey Kong.
Well, that's why I was doing Mario, see.
Well, no, you need a hammer and be like See?
My apologies. Shut up.
Let me kill all jokes more. I will become the black hole through which no humor can escape.
Another high quad, and a new model at that.
If I could just hit it from a blind spot while it's charging its plasma cannon.
No, Yuki is the one who has the skill to do that for more damage.
I need to pilot perfectly to get in close, even if it means I might not come back.
Oh, don't be so dramatic. You're on defense.
Don't talk like that, Megumi. This isn't like you, but I'm the one who got everyone into this mess.
No, you aren't.
I figured you were just some prissy little nerd whining about your problems. But you're a real badass. More than these guys, anyway. You're okay in my book. Come on, follow my lead.
I like how everyone who is currently talking is not engaged in the battle. No, hold on. You did bring Tomi.
I did bring Tomi.
Okay, except for her.
Stick to the plan. Stay in formation.
Nothing? Okay. Not looking forward to only having 4 guys, but
Gotta do this.
at least there's no time limit.
Well, no, there's a time limit. Just not for the S rank. Or for the...
Yes, for the S rank.
For the bonus.
Well, if the time runs out, I win. That will never happen.
Number
16,
11, moving
moving
out.
There we go.
Let's turn this around.
Starting to appear in some other locations.
Number 10, moving out. Target confirmed.
There's not a new model, just meant that new model.
Yeah. And they're all conveniently not facing you.
I wonder how long that will last, because part of me wants to just nuke them. But if I wait, I might be able to blow up more. I don't think I can take out... Well, no, hold on, it is facing away from me.
Right, that's why I said that.
I mean, didn't it destroy it last time?
I believe so.
But 750 is a lot of energy. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. It's moving. I I'm going to make a mistake. This is a mistake and I shouldn't
Let's
do
turn
it.
this around.
I should not do this, but I just can't help it because I'm afraid.
Let's do this.
This is the wrong move! Yeah, I mean, they all died,
Score.
but Kisaragi doesn't have enough energy to do it again. Hence the wrong move, you see.
Fights by now. New
Warning.
D-forces.
How do
Incoming
I-
heat signatures from
You,
What do I
you know,
do?
this is a lot of guys.
Yeah, this really is.
Lend us a hand.
Ah, Twin Tails!
We'll just rush up there and demolish or blade them all into oblivion.
I can't kill them all. Not in one shot. Kill Minnie!
Here goes. Good.
They're always
I'll try.
freaking flying in front of Denji. Every stinking
Well,
time!
that's why you've got the EMP attractor.
Yeah, but I'm too close. I can't hit them all. Oh well, I
Right
guess I
here.
can.
Take it.
See, I missed that one.
This could get ugly.
within enemy threat range.
Who's getting shot?
Enemy
They're going
Ah!
presentation range.
Oh, no, really, I don't know what was making those noises, but...
I think the Twin Tails launching all those missiles.
yeah, that was probably it then. I like how I used to be afraid of high quads and prioritize destroying them, but that was foolish. Clearly the answer is to fear Twin Tails.
You've learned since then.
How was that? Target destroyed. What do I do? Here comes the pain.
Come on, get enough back. Okay. Oh my god, I should have used a limiter.
Dang!
I didn't think that it was just gonna murder. Ah! Oh wow, Fuyusaka took a hit.
She got lasered by that high quad.
Oh, that actually activates one of A's skills. If Fuyusaka takes damage, he gets something, some kind of boost.
Hostiles, don't let up.
16 within enemy threat range.
It's really hard with only 4 of them, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to keep up a steady enough assault.
What?
How's the Sentinel?
It's not active. Bottom right?
Maybe it has to be enough damage, like she has to be damaged past a certain point.
Or maybe close enough. Boo!
You're done.
Anyway, you're dead now.
How was that? Neutral.
Oh, Ninja!
Yeah, not liking all that. Hey, look, it's a guardian. It's not affecting anything. If anything, I should probably put it here where I don't have anyone.
That's probably for the best, yes.
Well, then again, Tomi's about to... Well, put it here.
Please, help us.
Gonna have Tomi rain some missile barrage.
No point overthinking it.
Well, it's about to be Nenji's turn, so... I'm sure I will do something like that. That is just many people.
Class is in session.
I mean, I had to do that.
Right.
We can't have these
See ya.
stinking rogue Twin Tails.
We've learned our lesson from that.
This is just
Good
so
timing.
many guys.
Yeah, there's more waves coming, geez.
So hard.
See, I'm 30 shy, but I'll never be able to fire and get enough to fire it again.
Right.
So I could defend.
I feel like maybe you should, attack something.
Right, see, I feel the same. So let's missile rain over this direction.
Just everything. Everything dies.
Oh, well, it's not gonna die. This might not be effective at all. It doesn't do that much damage. It's the apocalypse against weak guys. But there might be enough of them to...
To recover some energy.
Well, I have to kill them to recover some energy, you understand?
I am familiar with that, yes.
So, no, the idea is I might be able to kill some. I'm not gonna be able to kill any. Oh, friggin'...
Take it.
Yes! Oh, thank goodness!
Give up.
Got a target on the
Within enemy threat range.
Explosions and death everywhere. It's largely mine, but...
Enemy. They're like any other punks.
Okay, you know, this actually isn't going that badly.
Actually, well, I mean, do you see how many Apsis shields are on all those things? All of them. All of them have been shielded by the Apsos. That could be problematic.
Fall.
There we
Did
go.
that do it? How many left?
Well, didn't get all of them, but however it is, that works. Oh, and A always gets more turns. God, these thinking... The Twin Tails.
Attacking from outside the map, no less.
Get rid of them!
Here comes the pain.
Can't leave those guys alone.
Take it. They're targeting really.
Ooh, they're all focusing on A up there.
Hit this guy!
Help us!
Yes, I do have to use support sometimes. I'm considering using meta skills to power up Tomi's energy. You know, for a missile.
Right. You probably should. You'd be able to wipe out like all those guys, and you'd probably get a refill off of all those guys. Those guys.
No. I don't have enough to fire it in the first place.
Well, right, but I mean, once you fill it up and then fire it, you'll get enough back. That's more what I meant.
That's cool, but we don't need to talk about something that doesn't matter. We need to talk about the part that matters, which is shooting it in the first place.
It matters to me.
It does not matter to you! You're making that up!
Let's turn this around.
The problem is, it's true I've got 3 uses, but I can only do this, like I need 2 to recover enough energy for it. I'm gonna do it!
So hard.
Yeah, the missile rain was about as ineffective as I was expecting. It was worth a shot, but... Okay, try it like this. Shoot homing missile, because it doesn't take much energy, and it might kill enough guys to give me another meta skill.
Right.
We are taking damage up here, though. You die.
Here goes. Good.
Very good.
Neutralized.
What are you doing out there?
Darn it!
Are you trying to get yourself killed?
Calm down, idiot. I'm invincible.
You're the idiot here. Cut the tough guy act. Just, please be careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this one again.
Shit.
Wow, city defense dropped by like 10 points in one attack.
Well, it's these high quads firing that.
Ugh.
Oh, but I have enough. Well, I'm not gonna use it yet. Okay. I have enough to use to get enough energy to fire the missile, which will end everything up here.
Right.
So I just have to make it a little bit longer.
Hit confirmed. I'll try.
Wow, everything died.
From the homing missile you fired.
That's even better. You know why it's even better?
Like any other
Because it means I can do this! To stop all those missiles!
No point overthinking it.
Now
This
die!
is insane. Got him.
Death to Apsos!
Oof. How was that?
Hiding out
How many
there
left?
past the
You're going
edge!
for me.
Wow, everybody's really pulling their weight, huh?
Well, they don't have a choice. There's only 4 of them.
Stay calm.
Fair point.
If there were 6 of them, the action would be a little more divided up.
Help us.
Shoot the missile. The missile will kill them. Then they will be dead. I did better anyway.
What?
Thanks.
Shoo!
Was that okay?
Okay. What now?
Well,
The missile did not kill them because they were facing forward. Oh well. Alas.
Number 10, moving out. Thanks. What?
Maybe it was one of these giant missile things that did that 10 points of damage to the city.
No room for hesitation.
Okay. Something needs to shoot down that missile. Come on, sentry gun.
That work?
Die!
Next. They're targeting this place.
Yeah, everything is not as bad as it looks.
Yeah, this appears to be the last of them.
I only get the one left. I guess I'll EMP, because I'm sure that if I heal, it won't make that much of a difference.
Probably not.
Surely gonna have to do it again. But when I do it again, we'll have enough guys.
Yeah.
My turn now.
Oh man. Max upgraded weapons have such long range.
Good.
Well, that's actually the normal Demolisher Blade
What do I
range.
do?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Upgrading it doesn't increase its range?
Right, now the rush attack it does.
I see. Now you kill the thing.
Chew on this.
Woo!
Yeah! There it goes.
Did alright.
Enemy signals confirmed.
Didn't get an S rank, but did alright. The damage matters more
when there's less people, because it's percentage based,
Aegis
right?
activated.
Correct.
Terminal closure complete. Surrounding 2-kilometer area now fully secure. Ending tactical analysis.
Everyone listen to me. We can communicate with the command ship out of range. I'm realigning the 3 surveillance satellites to their relay positions. We should be connected soon. However, the satellites have to move outside their preset tracks. They'll enter the gravity well and plummet to Earth.
Now, Goto said when she did this before, it was that she did something before, and that's how he knew that she could do it again. But it turns out that doing it again is really just like satellites all plummeting to Earth. So she really couldn't have done it.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's this or wait 10 hours, I guess.
Your connection will only last until they hit the surface. You'll barely have any time to do this. Am I clear? If you actually manage to pull this off, then I expect you all to take responsibility.
Chihiro.
Good luck, big brother. Almost connected. This is your only chance. Initiating communication. I'm connected. I never imagined this kind of workaround.
This is where we're at. We've got 2 terminals left. What do we do?
You do have something, don't you?
The processing is almost done. I'm getting back to working on the mainframe. Even if you cover the next one, there'll still be 1 terminal left. Activate Aegis for that one, and protect the terminal.
Did we win?
Oof.
I just deployed my missiles so poorly.
How long is this battle gonna go on?
What? What? Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna argue.
All right, whatever.
Feel like you did pretty bad. What? This is it? I was expecting something more than Ida just spies on Kisaragi.
Were you really?
However, why are Miura, Hijiyama, Tamo Kurabe, and Tsukasa Okino not on this list? He knows about Okino. They work together.
Maybe because the other 3 were in Sector 5?
That makes perfect sense, except for Okino.
Right, but, you know.
Weirdo. I used some strong language. Okay, it's entirely possible that next episode is the last episode, meaning that this episode is now done.
Is that what it means, though?
Yeah?
Are you sure?
What are you getting at now?
I don't know.
It's not going on forever. What, do you think I'm just gonna leave it here for 5 minutes? What the heck is wrong with you? Why did you sit here for this long? Wait, you just skipped ahead, didn't you? You did skip ahead to this, right? That's okay if you did, but you've got some problems if you just waited. Thanks for the watch time, but take care of yourself.